So, in a video that I just recently made, I kind of got a little frustrated and I said that I was done and I was tired and, maybe I needed a little break, but I lied. I'm not done. And, if people don't listen, then I just have to try harder. So, cheers to that. But I'm still talking through my thoughts. I have ideas to make my stuff more accessible to a wider audience and more entertaining than me just chatting. But that's in the works. I'm still condensing my ideas in my head here. But after I talked about the cosmic microwave background radiation and how it may not necessarily all be from the beginning of time and showing the expansion of the universe, and rather is just over time, it's started to show up. It kind of puts the idea that, okay, well, if that's the case, then do we even need the universe to really be expanding? And a part of me is not sure if we do, because I think we are expanding out through time. And so we are expanding out, but relative to us, it would probably look more like we're not moving, right? Because everything around us is also expanding out through time. But I don't know. I think that things are definitely moving around, and you kind of, when you zoom out really far and you look at our universe, how we put it together, right? We've got all these cosmic threads that are like time, and it almost looks like a little network of connections. And that's because all of those it's seeming strands of connections and stuff is because of gravity. And so these points of gravity, these points of mass are all pulling towards each other, and naturally, it kind of makes this seeming strand of connections. I mean, there's so much empty space in between these points, but they seem to make this connection because of how gravity works. And so we get these seeming threads that are connecting everything together, and we get this network of a universe because of how everything kind of pulls towards each other. Some things just pull stronger because they're closer than other things, right? And so as this happens, we start to get more voids because things are starting to condense. So it's kind of interesting because on one hand, mass seems to be moving towards a point of condensing, right? Consolidating, that's the word. Seems to be moving towards a point of consolidation, not at any given point, but just into points of consolidation, I guess I should say. So, it looks like, and as we expect, long term, the only thing that'll be left in the universe is a bunch of black holes scattered about, right? And then everything else will just kind of be gone. It'll just be a universe of black holes eventually, which is kind of interesting, because we're still expanding out through time, and I mean, it's really hard to kind of see the scale there, but when I say expanding out through time, time is still flowing by, right? And we don't go backwards in time, so that's what I kind of mean by expanding out in time. And maybe I feel like the expansion should be happening, but that expansion can be explained in many different ways. So it's hard to really know what the root cause is, because we could be looking at these universes and being like, oh, they're all moving away from us, but it could just be that, they're getting pulled that way because that's where the stronger pull of gravity is, and we're getting pulled this way. And it's not necessarily that the universe is expanding, we're just moving apart from each other. And I don't know how many different directions and how many different points this is based off of, but this could be the case for all of the areas that we find this happening, right? And so it could be that we just think all of these points are signs that the universe is expanding away, but maybe we're just seeing a behavior and then assigning a role to it, with that not necessarily being the case. So I don't know. I'm undetermined on that. I feel like it's kind of hard to say because everything is just the problem is that it's really hard to get a concept of perspective when there's nothing in between, right? And then you also factor in that light is getting gravitationally lensed, so light that you see coming towards you may not even be where it's at. Like you're looking at a star over here and somehow it did this wide arch or wide arc all the way around. It really gets hard to say how things are working out there, because we really can't observe it better than what we see, right? And like we know that there's optical illusions. You can't always trust your eyes. So, at the end of the day, we've got some extremely powerful and advanced eyes looking at this stuff, but they are just eyes, we don't really have any other ways of observing it. Like we can't get up close and touch it or anything like that, right? So, there's not really any other way we can confirm what's going on there other than just looking at it. At least to my understanding. I don't know. But the main thing I just wanted to talk about is just like the cosmic strands is just like kind of shows how gravity is flowing, and we can kind of see wherever there's like a nexus, right, where multiple points are flowing into, that's where there's probably a really strong density, right? And then these strands just kind of like flow out because they're going towards wherever there's more mass, and that's mainly just from what I said, because where there's more mass, right, they're kind of following the flow of dark energy, because dark energy flows towards points of mass, like strong points of mass. It goes from because mass creates a low point in dark energy, and so it moves to fill that it moves to correct that discrepancy. And so we see this kind of network of like tendrils of like mass just kind of slowly being like pulled in, because it's all following the flow of dark energy. So these strands that we see out in the cosmos are really like just like rivers of dark energy, and the dark energy is still flowing around it. It's not like it's only flowing where we can see that, but that's where it's the strongest. And we observe this as gravity, but gravity is really just the flow of dark energy at least in my opinion. And so I think that's it for this one. I have some other stuff, but I'll leave it at that for this one. So, peace out.